Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to the Midweek Takeaway. Today we're joined by Pieter Krügel, CEO of Mast Energy Developments. Welcome back, Peter.
Good morning, Phil. Good morning, Kevin. Good to be back.
Absolutely. So, MED has just announced that its Pyebridge flexible power generation asset has generated approximately £57,000 in revenue in its first month of operation and 100% reliability. This achievement demonstrates the genset's efficiency and paves the way for the refurbishment of the remaining gensets at the site, expected to significantly enhance revenue and profitability. Additionally, Pyebridge receives an annual gross profit margin of $308,000 from its capacity market contract. MED is also exploring further income opportunities through the balancing mechanism market, bolstering its position in the flexible power sector. You highlighted the success and potential for future growth, emphasizing the strategic partnership with RiverFort to support expansion plans. Sounds like excellent progress, Peter.
Yes, indeed, Phil. We're very pleased with the maiden operating results from the first refurbished genset. So maybe just as a quick reminder, we started with the refurbishment program at Pyebridge a few months ago with the first of the three 2.7 megawatt Yenbach gensets. We successfully completed that first overhaul at the end of June, and we started commercial operations of that refurbished genset on the 1st of July. And the plan was to see, carefully monitor what the performance of that refurbished genset was for a number of reasons, including to give us an indication as to, what the potential revenue generation of the site as a whole over all three engines can be once all the engines have been overhauled, and also to then pave the way, for the overhauls of the remaining two gensets. So, that box has been ticked now. Very attractive, being 51 refurbished gensets, so that translates to circa £21,000 of revenue per megawatt per month, which gives us an idea of the potential revenue generation for this site. So everything looks good. As planned, we're proceeding with the overhaul of the other two engines, and Pyebridge is really showing that this business can work and work well.
Very good. So tell us, obviously, you had a revenue of £57,000 with. Basically, that was from original startup. So do you see that being slightly higher in the future or potentially higher as we move into August, September, October, etc.?
That's a good question, Kevin. So looking at kind of, two elements regarding revenue generation. On the one hand, there's the technical aspect, so operationally on site. And with the first refurbished genset that started commercial operation on the 1st of July following its refurbishment, there's usually kind of a settling in period of around a week. That's not, with the engine getting into optimal generation. So I think with that, the way now, we are expecting enhanced technical performance from the genset. So yes, to answer your question, we do expect even better performance from the genset. And then also looking at the market, July has seen quite a bit of wind, and we're a natural hedge to renewables generation and to specifically wind generation. So when the wind blows and wind turbines are up, we don't generate, and vice versa. When wind dies down and we can't generate, then we come on stream. And there's been quite a bit of wind during July. And nevertheless, we still had a very good month. Typically, looking back historically, and we expect that trend to follow that trend again, is the peak, especially October. That's usually the peak demand months for gas speakers. So we are expecting enhanced numbers going forward.
So from the point of view of the second genset being re-established, refurbed, what sort of timescales are we looking at there?
So we will follow the exact same process we did with the first genset. Starting with signing the engineering works contract with Cooper Oslam, the O&M contractor on site, and getting the associated funding advance from our strategic funding partner, RiverFort, at the asset level. So all exactly the same we did previously, and then the refurbishment program is expected to take around the same time as the previous round, so around 8 weeks from start to finish. And as with the previous round, we'll update the market regularly as usual.
And has that begun, or it's going to begin?
So we're almost ready to formally commence. So we just had to wait for the July numbers to get confirmation, which we have in hand now, and we will now proceed.
Okay, so you would hope that all three gensets will be done by when? Do you think? When are we looking at all, the 8.1 megawatt generation capacity being fully utilized?
The plan and expectation is to do the next one now, so that's 8 weeks.
And the one thing that occurred to me in terms of this, you suggested that you're going to have this explain to us how that will work, because it looks like you're selling the megawatt twice or getting money for it twice. How does that work?
So the flexible generation site has got 3 possible main revenue contracts. So the case with Pyebridge at the moment is we've got a power purchase agreement with our preferred route to market offtake partner being Statkraft. We've got a capacity market contract with the UK government. And then the third possible contract is the balancing mechanism market contract, which we are expecting to enter into at the moment. So the capacity market contract and the balancing market contract are similar. There are distinct differences, but it is very similar. The main difference from an income perspective is the capacity market contract is based on a fixed tariff per kilowatt per annum. So that's guaranteed and that's contractual. The balancing market is different in the sense that it's based on a variable tariff at a day ahead stage. So it is not fixed, but, it is an additional income stream based on, the same number of generating capacity that we apply for. So it is an additional income stream. It's an additional contract that we're adding into now in order to bolster the revenue and profitability for the site.
What sort of magnitude is that like it's coming up?
Because it's variable, it is a bit hard to predict. It goes up and down and moves with the market. It all depends how much capacity the national grid needs and when they call upon the balancing mechanism. Our expectation is that it will enhance our profit margin with at least 5%. So it's not insignificant. In fact, it's a fairly significant addition to our income and to our profitability.
So that would take you from sort of 28% to a third of all the revenue that comes in.
Yes,
all the revenue, or do you class the 309 or 308,000 that you get pretty much as a fixed amount of money, or is that included in the profit margin calculation?
That's included in the profit margin calculation. That's correct.
Okay, so we will move from 28 to 33%. So revenue terms, if all 3 engines are working, let's say it's £60,000 per engine, £180,000 per month, you are talking about in excess of £2.2 million plus the 300,000. So you're talking about 2.5 million for Pyebridge once the rest of this year is over, and you're talking about a 33% return on that, which is somewhere in the region of 8 to 900,000. So would that then cover your fixed costs in terms of the whole of Mast, or are we not quite there yet?
I think that'll cover the bulk of it, Kevin, and we did touch on that during our previous discussion. Ideally, and that's the plan, is to get the second and the third site up and running as well, which we're working on with a combination of initiatives. And I think, ultimately, as a next step forward, that's the idea, is to take what we did in Outreach, all the lessons learned, all the benefits, and duplicate that. We've got a very good blueprint now that's been proven, and we will copy and paste that and scale up from here.
I suppose that's the point, really, is that Pyebridge proves the concept, and now we have to expand this. You did also mention that there was some other stuff, and you mentioned that the RNS, that there was things afoot, but could mean that you have some places that are already producing. So is news on that likely in the next while, or are we still away from that?
Yes, we're working on a number of initiatives, as I mentioned. So we've got our existing portfolio, which Pyebridge is an important part of, but we've got 4 other construction-ready sites as well. So that's one avenue. We are also looking at other sites specifically similar to Pyebridge, that's already been constructed and are already either producing or close to production. And the benefit of such potential transaction would be, very much quicker into production and revenue generation, and typically also a discount. compared to a new build development. So there's a few options there that we're excited about, and a number of other things. So we've got a very exciting year ahead. I think we've taken a very good, solid step forward now. As you've rightly said, now we've proven the concept definitively, and we'll just build it from here.
Yeah, I think my view is that you're sort of out of the woods, with a market capitalization of sort of £1 million or just over, and net asset value probably significantly higher than that. And now you've got revenue to cover the majority of your costs, let's say, not all of them. Then now you look like a viable situation. So good luck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
We obviously look forward to you coming back on in the future, talking about, as you say, progress at the further sites, Hindlip, Bordersley and Rochdale. So on that note, we'll say Pieter Krügel, CEO of Mast Energy Developments, thanks very much for your time.
Good. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Kevin. I look forward to updating you soon.
This podcast was brought to you by Roast PR Limited. If you would like to appear on a future episode of The Sunday Roast, please email admin@thesundayroast.net.